Those have been hard to get, man. And I
know.
I
It's
love
because they're
that
super
little
popular.
rifle, man.
Like, it is a fun gun to shoot.
And a CZ, if it says CZ, right? You want it. Oh, speaking.
Well, some people.
So we
I'm
got
not necessarily a big
we got.
CZ
Hey,
fan.
let that
Hey,
be,
we're
let that
live.
be
Look
light.
at that, and we got lights. But
Well, we
so-
got like part-time Phil today, so he's still
Yeah,
catching up.
we got Phil that's rocking some tennis shoes, shorts, and a total slacker look on his face. Like, he does have his energy drink, so we do know that it's
It
officially a
matches
Wednesday.
his shirt too.
But he's like smiling a bunch today.
Is he packing over there with those bird legs?
Yeah, I'm sure.
There it
Look at
is.
that, yeah.
Appendix Phil.
There it is. So,
I grabbed a couple of these two guns for a couple of reasons. Number one, they're friggin' cool as heck. CZ Scorpion rifle.
yes. Full
Foldable
carbine,
stock.
foldable stock.
Same mags as the Scorpion pistol. 16-inch barrel, 9mm pew pew. Friggin'
All the
great,
pews.
great rifle.
Yeah.
Great, that's a great rifle.
And I'm seeing these a lot in the competitive shooting world.
Have you really?
Yeah, a lot of guys running these things in PCC because they've got very good, reliable magazines that are easy as far as everything
it's a nice
is concerned.
big beveled manual
Yeah,
for
I mean, getting them in and out. They also have a lot of extended magazines.
Weak
They've got
side charging
extended
handle.
charging handles.
Yep.
So they're really set up to be abused by competitive shooters, and competitive shooters definitely, they put their guns
Probably a lot of
through
guys running
lot
those with
of abuse.
Hollisons on them too, right?
Yeah, as we know, I'm a big fan of the Holosun line. Now I've got the 507 on my pistol. I've been doing a bunch of shooting with that. So far, so good with that. The 510 on my Mutant. It's
I've got
just
two ordered.
awesome.
I've got two ordered, and I need to order another one. I ordered two for my 2870 tax, and then I just decided to do an AR pistol build, so I need one of those. Another one for. They make a great optic. Great price point.
Yeah, really.
A lot of good options,
Durable.
long life.
You can really beat them up.
Yep.
And they
Be a great match for that. So anyway, we got one of these in a day ago.
Yeah.
It won't last through the weekend. They're
Probably
just
not.
hard to find. Great price point. Come check that. Come check that out. I grabbed this one. I know that.
Yeah, that's a new one.
So this is not a new gun. So I grabbed this for a couple of reasons.
For us.
Number one, how cool is that thing? That is a CZ TAC, right?
Oh, and we already switched it over, so it's not wrong hand anymore.
Yeah, the guy was a left-handed shooter,
Yeah.
so we swapped it over to a right hand. So this is an example of some of the things that we get our hands on from our used gun case. Not a lot of people are aware of that, but we get some great firearms that people trade in or they sell to us. If you're in the market to sell something, give us a call. We can absolutely help you with that. But if you're looking to maybe save some money, make sure you take a look at our used case, because and we've got used long guns as well. But this is one of those guns that came in that you don't. That's the first time I've seen that gun. You're a race driver,
Current
right?
configuration, yes, it's slightly different than a lot of others. I really like it. It's like checkering in the front.
Yep.
For your serrations, it's
compensated slide.
checkered variant. It's got the lightning cuts on there to make it lighter. It is not ported. You do have the charging handle on the side, so it would qualify as a full open gun.
It's a 40 Smith & Wesson caliber, right?
Yes, but it also came with 9mm barrel and magazines. So
And
you can go,
bushings, or the extractors
so everything.
and injectors.
So you can shoot this as a 40 cal or a 9mm.
With a barrel swap. Don't just try it
Yes.
inadvertently. Make sure you got the right barrel in.
Right, but I mean, this trigger.
It's got like
I don't know
6
if you
mags
can
with
see
it, too.
that. Like this is. Like that is unbelievable.
If you're looking for a race gun, really,
Gotcha.
I mean,
We also got an STI in.
got an STI in. Yep, that thing is fantastic. And you know, we get a lot of people coming in asking about what should I use for a race gun? The Walther PPQ is a big one. The Q5.
Q5 match
is a great one.
Amazing gun.
A lot of people like the, it used to be the Core, Smith & Wesson, but that I think was discontinued, right? A lot of Glock 34s.
They just haven't come out with the new Core
newer
on
version.
The 2.0 yet.
But and then that Canik TP9 SFX.
Dude, that gun is so
ridiculously
underloved. I don't understand it.
Well, Cantrell's got 3 of them that he runs in his competitions.
And he's running the heck out of it.
Yeah.
And like we call him Bullseye a lot because
he shoots good.
He loves the headshots.
Yeah,
he loves the headshots, and I mean he is spot on with them Canics, and he's had 0 problems. And he is definitely one of our more active shooters as far as,
Don't use active and shooter in the same sentence like that.
Active competitive shooter.
Thank you.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you're not into competitive shooting yet, you can come by. Usually the first, second, third Thursdays of the month, we have competitions going on. Yep. Come out and just watch these guys and gals shoot.
Yeah.
We've got them everywhere from I do this for a living to I'm getting started and having fun with it. Great time. You get to move and shoot your gun. You get to, for me, from a practical purpose standpoint, you're practicing the draw, under duress, shots on target, moving, doing reloads, all applicable stuff to the defensive world. I'm not ever I like doing those, and I haven't done one for way too long, but I like doing them not because I plan on winning, but because it's fun and the practice is super applicable to what I want to be able to do with my firearms.
Yeah, and you hear the guys saying, "Oh, competitive shooting will get you killed in the streets." Well, believe me when I say that competitive shooters are not practicing for what they're going to do in the streets. But what it is nice is you can, and I was talking on the Book of Faces the other day with some guys that we haven't seen them out there in a while. And he was talking about his perception and the fact that you're going through, and as we've talked about a lot on this show, is the situational awareness. And you're looking and you're like, that guy's at 50 yards. I can still put a round in him. That guy's at 30 yards. I can still put a round in him. And so this guy was talking, and he hasn't shot in quite a while, and that's what happens when you have new babies and stuff.
Yeah,
and so he's kind of been out of the game for a little bit. Right. And he's like, he was talking about how for him, he's now starting to, it's 30 yards. I wonder if I could get
and
good so point. It's that self-confidence of knowing that I practice enough with this gun or with a gun that I can put sights on target, press the trigger, and not disturb the sights to a point.
Nice.
All good?
Yeah. That's
Was that your phone or was that my camera?
That was his phone.
That's my phone.
It's red again. Are we back
deal.
up?
There, now you're back on.
Yeah.
Hi again.
Yeah, no, different deal there.
I
So
don't know what the heck happened there.
Is doing a great job today.
Right, or part-time, do as I want, kind of just slacker. But anyway, so yeah, it's just, like you're pointing out, the proficiency level of feeling more comfortable behind the gun, doing things like your draw and so forth.
Moving.
If you're new to the competitive shooting world, there is a lot of movement, there is a lot of, like you pointed out, draw strokes and so forth. And it's even our practical tactical, which is very much more geared towards a CCW mindset. All of those things, those disciplines, it's okay if it's your first time.
Oh, yeah.
IDPA is a great one to start off with because
that's what I did.
Every single person has to shoot it the same way. You start here, you move here, you shoot this in this order.
You do a reload.
You move here, you shoot this in this order. The different style guns you use and so forth are going to dictate how many rounds you start with and so forth. You need 3 mags, a gun, and a holster. That's it. whatever that is.
Mag carrier.
Bring it.
Yep.
We'll help you understand what class yours and what situation your gun fits in. But don't worry about that. Whatever you've got, cool, bring it. We'll help you out. We'll get you going. And then from there, your first match should be your worst. You're going to do terrible. It's okay. We all were terrible.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
because
yeah.
you should be going really slow. You should be not trying to go fast. Get comfortable. We'll all help you kind of figure out all the downsides and how to get faster.
My first time, I didn't have an adrenaline dump because somebody was pointing a gun at me. I had an adrenaline dump because there was a timer on me and people watching me.
Yeah.
So I still had tunnel vision, and I still had the nervousness and the jittery motions because I hadn't, I haven't spent any time in those circumstances.
Yeah.
But being able to be there and just watch people shoot in front of you, or even if you're not competing, just watching them shoot, it's amazing how much you can pick up and put in your little library just from observing. And to a man or woman that's participated in these, anytime I've had a question and said, hey, how did you run that stage? Boom, they'll just tell me how they did it and why they did it. I went ahead and dumped an extra round on that target so that I could get a reload in before I went to my next target, because that's faster than one round on a target, reload, and then a second round on a target.
Yeah,
all those little tricks of the trade.
And tricks and
anyway,
helpful edges.
Just a ton of fun, dude.
Yeah,
it's just a ton of fun.
Yeah.
So anyway, look us up. We do those all the time. We got people that do those every weekend.
Charity match this weekend, so we do charity matches as well. So Saturday we've got the charity match for Bowles firefighters.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah. We have Carbine 2 next Tuesday for a class IDPA match. The next IDPA match will be next Thursday. So that one will go live on Saturday morning.
Got to be quick to sign up those. We sell those out pretty quick.
Yes, those good. You get, but even if it's full, jump on the waiting list, because everybody, a lot of the guys that are pretty repetitive in it, they're going to sign up as soon as it pops up, because it's easier to sign up, get in, and then back out later.
If nothing else,
so jump on the waiting list.
Come in and sit down and watch.
Yeah.
Just you don't have to be there for 2.5 hours. You can be there for 20 minutes. You're going to learn a bunch.
Yeah.
You're going to want to participate.
Yep.
What's this? We got a defensive handgun class next Saturday?
Next Saturday.
We still have spots in there?
Spots open for that one too. Not many, but we got a couple.
What is that?
NRAM. So the NRA annual meeting.
Oh.
Let's not talk about NRA. I get it. We're not going there. They do put on the second largest event of the year for this industry, called the annual meeting. And so lots of people will be there. All of your major players are going to be there.
Look up Phil and Jeff. Phil and Jeff are going to be out there again.
Phil and Jeff will be out there. A lot of companies will start launching new cool stuff. The only one I've heard about so far is CMMG, which I know Phil is probably as excited as I am on this one.
I am.
Especially since he just ordered his Banshee. So,
did you really?
Yeah, so he'll also...
Did you get the 9mm?
CMMG just launched a deal where you can use your standard AR-15 lower, full mag lower, with a magazine adapter deal to adapt your regular AR lower to accept 9mm and run it with a 9mm upper.
With their 9mm.
So it's an AR trigger. It's an AR lower. You slap their upper on it.
You take your AR lower, and you take one of their 9mm uppers, throw it on top.
I had that backwards.
This
and you put that mag adapter in and it attaches to the well.
No, it's just a magazine.
It is a magazine
with the adapter built into it.
So you're just slapping mags. You don't have to do anything to your lower to alter it at all.
Correct.
Friggin', are you serious?
Yeah, it's awesome. And for those of you that are looking oh, well, I want a Munchkin one, but I don't want to have I don't want to dedicate a lower to a 9mm SBR. Cool.
Just get the mags and the upper.
Get your mags and ammo, and
so
SBR is standard lower, so that way you can run literally any size.
I can slap that on
top
so
of it.
Obviously they make it in different barrel lengths, I'm guessing, right?
The uppers? Yes.
Yeah, just pay attention to that. I would caution folks that may not know, if you're using an AR rifle with a 16-inch barrel, you cannot slap a 6-inch 9mm barrel on that, because now you've created an SBR.
Yes, but if you're going to SBR something, the beauty in this is you can SBR a standard lower to run with a short AR-15, 223,
or a long barrel. It doesn't matter.
and then swap it over to a 9mm, or if you want to have the 9mm
But
short upper, you
again,
can put it onto a pistol
if
loader
you
as
have
well.
a stock AR with a 16-inch barrel and a stock on it, you cannot put a 9mm barrel on that because you've
short
now, the 6-inch, because you've now created an SBR.
Correct.
That's illegal. But if you've got an AR pistol, you can put the 6-inch on it, the 12-inch on it, the 18-inch, doesn't matter.
Right.
If you've got an SBR, you can do the same thing.
Right.
But if you've got just a standard AR rifle, that's how it's categorized, then you can't run anything shorter than a 16-inch barrel
Without SBR.
without SBR. Okay. All right, keep going.
Yeah, so
That's
awesome
cool,
stuff.
though,
I
dude.
do know that they've got that coming out, so that's new and exciting.
Did we order any of that stuff?
They just announced it.
Yeah, they literally
Okay,
just announced it
let's go-
yesterday,
let's go
and you
call
were
them
in
when we're
today.
done.
So,
Let's
yes.
go call them when we're done.
They're
Because-
on your desk, I'm sure.
For like, how many people do we have working here?
There already might be, I sent that
20 of them coming?
That spreadsheet
Well,
over
that-
to you yesterday, and we need to talk about
Oh.
that today. But you've been hiding, so
I'm not hiding them.
You're
Right there
all
on the floor.
hiding out
You're
on the
hiding
floor
in the
doing
back,
work
and I'm
stuff,
working on the
I'm
floor with
hiding in the back
customers.
doing work and stuff. But still, I'm still gonna. Yeah,
It's
should've
a
been
great
here.
handle if I need
Yes,
it.
It does.
Hey,
It does make it.
Speaking of cool stuff that we've
Yeah.
got in the store, we got friggin' being a SIG Master dealer, hosting that event. What do we have? 15 P365s
Dude,
in
we
stock.
finally caught up on 365s.
Oh my gosh!
Yes. Now we've
Come get one.
I
They're
posted it up.
friggin'
We
great
wouldn't have
gun.
enough to last the weekend, and we got another order the
Yeah,
next day.
seriously.
So we do have a bunch of them left. So we have somewhere around 10 and 15. Something
We got a
like that.
bunch.
So we got a bunch.
We got a bunch.
So
And if
we
you're
got the 12-round mag,
law
so we got
enforcement,
everything.
veteran, first responder, you would qualify for their
Blue label program.
well, you can't say blue label
Whatever,
because that's
their
the G people's
Law
program.
enforcement. They're
But they've
they
got a
call it professional carrier.
they've got a program for
They
you.
got a thing.
Can't give
it's
any
a
prices
deal.
out, but it's a great deal. Save you some money.
Bunch of money.
Yeah, it doesn't count for armed security and any of that stuff, but you got to be a vet, you got to be law enforcement or first responder, that kind of thing. We can take care of you there.
Yeah,
So.
you gotta carry a gun for
All
women.
right, so what's going on? Oh, Notre Dame,
kinds of
dude.
chaos.
Gosh, dang it.
What?
The Notre Dame burning.
Yes.
That one is just
Yes, Notre Dame.
super sad.
It's super sad and it's super weird because there's a lot of like confusion about what actually
Well, they
happened.
busted a guy here in St. Louis that went into a church with some gas cans and lighters and stuff. They called the
Yeah.
cops, and he said, "No, I was just walking through, and my car ran out of gas," which ended up being a lie. I mean, there's some weird stuff going on, and then you tie that now to Sri Lanka,
Right.
which is
Yeah, Notre
horrible.
Dame,
It just
so-
makes you sit there going,
Yeah,
somebody, the war. It sounds like the war is on.
it's.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't want to be
If
that
you're
guy,
one of them
but
conspiracy guys, you would definitely be pointing to a lot of red. Or
there's a lot of red
black or
flags there for sure.
White, however many flags. But yeah, so Notre Dame. I mean, you're talking about a long-term thing that it means more than
And-
just a building for a church.
Oh, it's the history.
Yeah,
It's the-
I mean, it's kind of
Absolutely.
and they've been a target for a long time from that
So,
that
do
four-letter
they-
ISIS
Do
group
they
and so
think?
forth.
Do they think that it was an act, or was because I know construction was going on there?
And see, that's the thing about France is that we're not hearing here in America. We don't hear a lot about things. Now, we heard a couple of months ago about the yellow vest protests and how that was going to a thing that had started and was kind of squashed out. No, it's still going on every day. It's still going on every weekend. It's still getting big. There's still a lot of problems and issues that are happening over there. And so then you throw in that Notre Dame was actually one of their targets and had been a known
Yeah,
target for a
it just
while.
smells bad,
And then
doesn't
all
it?
of a sudden this is happening. And some of the really odd timetable of the beginning stages is something that I find it a little odd. Their current statement is that the last Mass of the day was underway at 6:16. They had just finished the Mass in another report. So I'm not 100% sure on that stuff.
Yeah.
But so basically at about 6:15, there was a light that went off for the fire on the fire alarm panel. So they went to go check it and they went to the wrong area possibly. So at 6:21, the alarm sounded. 5 minutes later, everybody was evacuated. They went and looked. no go there. Okay. Second alarm went off another 10 minutes later, so at 6:30, it was again evacuated. They went and looked for it, and around sometime between 6:40 and 6:50, okay, another 10-minute window, they found that there was a fire. They found the fire. And then at 6:51, they actually made a phone call to the, what do they call it? The fire brigade.
Yeah.
So literally 35 minutes after the initial possible fire, they finally called the fire brigade.
So when they found the fire, was it in one of the spots that they had checked previously, or was it in?
That's where there's some confusion on whether they checked one place.
So theoretically,
and the fire
it could have been
was found in
burning
another
for
place.
30 or 40 minutes before they even responded to it.
It was burning for 30 to 40
Yeah.
minutes before it was
Bad deal.
Before the fire brigade was even called.
You know what, though?
Contact.
Big kudos to those guys, because they saved almost everything that they could.
They saved quite a bit.
That was in there. So anyway, bad deal.
Yeah, and then you, like you pointed out, and then you tie in Sri Lanka. So on Easter morning, 3 churches, 3 hotels were bombed by 9 different people. It was obviously a coordinated attack. There's more fishy evidence around that side. The Indian intelligence officials are saying that they had warned the counterparts just hours after the first bomb was before the first bomb was detonated.
Oh, really?
Now, there's some other stuff.
Well, they had gotten
there.
some warnings like a month prior,
April
2 weeks
4th,
prior.
April 18th.
Gotcha.
Memos going out. There's some other reports that they may have known more than 8 hours before the attack where exactly all of the attacks were supposed to be. Again, it's still in that hole we're trying to figure out.
I saw a little bit of video on this, and it's just it breaks my heart,
it's because like 350 people killed, including like 50 children.
Oh yeah.
And there's like seven countries worth of people that have all been affected by this, including a bunch of Americans.
Well, the whole thing was so subtle. They had big backpacks on, and they just literally calmly walked into the middle of these buildings, of these services, and
8 men, 1 woman. And now they're also saying that these people were highly educated.
Yeah.
These weren't like...
Well, it doesn't sound like it to me.
Like some of these people had gone and studied in Britain. Some studied in other parts of England, in France, and so forth, and then are back in Sri Lanka. And like these are not people that you would think would be low income, low IQ, low problem, or high problem areas. Like these are established people that had good jobs.
That's scary. I mean, they just put a backpack on and walked right into a church. And
I think one of the things that really struck me here at home on that is we had 2 of our bigwigs on one of the sides of the aisle. Why is Vinny calling me?
I don't know, but you got a mute button on that.
But it's freaking me out. I got a weird phone call right before we started from my daughter. So,
he's got to stay on top of it.
Kind of.
It's all good.
I get a pass from Phil on this one.
Just today.
But anyway, so 2 of our bigwigs on one side of the aisle announced them as being Easter worshipers. So we have a new term. These bombings happened and affected Easter worshipers.
Don't want to piss anybody off.
I think there's more to these stories than what we're hearing so far. So we'll kind of keep up on that. However, from our side, is that why Vinny was calling? Key lime shake.
Thank you.
Wow.
What?
Yeah,
Why are you giving me that
that's
face,
very
though?
key lime.
Didn't we have a discussion about this last week?
A, you're off, so when I took lunch orders, you weren't here. B, this is not the quality milkshake I owe you. That is a nasty key lime milkshake.
It's a key lime milkshake from Chick-fil-A.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Sometimes I feel like I'm working with my sister's kids.
It's pretty wild. That's. I don't know. I don't even
So
know
what's
what to
this?
say there.
What do you have this?
Oh, so then there's some.
I heard this on the news this morning.
So we know that in St. Louis we've been having this problem, and we keep saying that we got to really get on top of this. We got some bad dudes in the area that are causing lots of problems. We're seeing that there's shootings on the rise and so forth.
Yep.
And now we're finding out that, there's bigger problems that are happening because of this. So Travis Sheridan and his wife are moving into a container home.
Okay.
You go and check that out. It's a container home. This is made from those shipping containers.
Yeah.
Kind of cool deal. Obviously, it's way out of the ordinary,
But
I should say.
Basically,
But,
they're moving into a house.
yeah, they're moving into a house, and so they're getting final things together, and they're starting to make some final phone calls to things like, hey, we want to have a fence, we want to have garage openers and so forth.
Yeah.
We want to have a maid, we want to have some lawn care people.
Yep.
And they're finding a bit of a problem. So basically, they're getting a lot.
So where do they build the house?
They don't serve that zip code due to the insurance risks and too many claims. So he's had issues, like I said, with landscapers, housekeepers, plumbers.
That won't come out there.
Fencing. They won't come out there and do work in his location because of the dangers to their workers. So their public statement from a letter that they sent out that's been posted publicly.
One of the vendors?
Yeah, one of the vendors. This was Soulard Garage Door and Fence Company, which I applaud you guys for actually paying attention to your workers and not putting them in undue harm. However, they said, quote, in recent months, our employees were the subject of facing a pulled weapon at gunpoint and of hearing ongoing gunshots while performing standard day-to-day business activities at several homes. This isn't an isolated incident. These events have placed our staff in situations many would consider most dangerous and have impacted our ability to provide normal business operations. Therefore, we have decided to temporarily suspend the offering of our services to homes in select zip codes that we deem unsafe, end quote. So literally, because of the turmoil that's happening downtown and this prosecutor that refuses to actually prosecute these crimes, the crimes are going up.
Yeah, it's
and
not
they're
going
not
to get
being
better.
reported as much because they're not. Ultimately, she's not going to do anything about it. So now we have problems where people that are trying to better their lives, to move into areas that are problematic as known, and trying to do things to change that, can't get simple services like somebody to come out and cut their grass or put up a fence around the property because of vandalism, theft, and ultimately not gunshots that are happening.
We see communities can be held hostage and they can also come together to overcome stuff. Right now, we've got communities being held hostage, and I get that. There's some scary things happening out there, but ultimately, that community's got to come together and make some changes.
Right.
They've got to turn these dirtbags in and not be afraid of doing that. They've got to work with the local law enforcement and their politicians and representatives. But one of the reps in that area said that they want to declare martial law down there, basically. They want military,
it's the same area.
military stuff in there.
Military stuff coming in, and this is the reasoning behind it.
Really would love to see, and I'm sure that it's being talked about. I'm not the first guy that's brought this up, and I don't want to speak in the dark about it, but the people that live there have got to get together, get their arms around each other, and work with whoever it is they need to work with to make things change.
Work with each other. Like, it's okay to talk to the police about problems that are in your area, so that you can resolve those problems. They're not ongoing issues.
Yep. And and law enforcement, and I've seen them do this over and over again, but more of it needs to be done, is build those relationships in those neighborhoods. Go in there, go in there and talk to the people that live there. Talk to the business owners that are in there.
Yeah.
That's all going to be necessary to make that change.
Yeah. I mean, and are there bad cops? Yeah. I mean, we all know that there are some bad cops out there.
There's bad teachers too.
There's bad teachers.
I had a couple of those.
Everything. There's a subsection of every group that is just a bunch of turnballs.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get around it.
Except here.
Right. Yeah, because we weed them out pretty easy.
Which
is ultimately what most of your law enforcement companies are trying to do. Is when
They'll
you
always
find that bad dude, they weed them out.
Make that change.
The problem is that you got to speak out about those problems, whether it be individual or a police issue or whatever the case may be, you got to bring that up, because if they don't know that there's the problem, you don't know that there's the problem.
Yep.
So,
Hey, if you're, we've talked about a lot of kind of scary stuff. The world's different than it was when we grew up.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about it. The world's just different. We need to adapt to that. And I'm not just talking about we need to be out there carrying guns and driving tanks and stuff. We need to be more involved in our communities. We need to be more involved in with our kids. I've done countless hours of study on this issue, and if there's not a solid home base for these kids, they go the wrong direction. Mm-hmm. And when you compare, the single families, broken families, to crime rates and juvenile crime, it just skyrockets. And so, my personal
Raising kids
opinion,
is
gospel
tough.
according to Ron, it's never easy, but it's the best investment that you can make. And these kids need direction in their lives from something other than where they're getting it now. And communities can come together and make those kind of things
because the
happen.
internet's not really a great place, especially not if you don't know how to point out what the problems are.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
work
Kids
to be
are
done
tough.
there.
Kids
But
are tough.
I love my city. I love my community. I love the people that are here. That are here.
Right.
I have every confidence in the world that we're going to get through this. It's just going to take some work.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Right. So, the world sucks, right? No, it doesn't. That's not what we're saying.
Well, right. No, we're not. Blues,
What else?
hey, go Blues.
Man, they play
I'll be the
tomorrow?
first to admit,
They play tomorrow?
I'm
game?
still kind of not.
How about coming back from 2-0 in the third period and winning it in overtime? That was friggin' awesome. But I tell you, the game they played, was it Monday? Sunday or Monday was their last game with
Monday,
the
wasn't it?
Canadians. Anyway, they were up 2-0, or no, 3-0, weren't they? And I'm thinking, now I'm confusing my baseball. The baseball team last night, the Cards were up 2-0 and then 4-0, anyway, Cards won 2. I know what I'm talking about. No, I don't. Maybe I do. Cards are doing
I
great.
have no idea what you're talking
The
about.
Cardinals are playing very good hockey right now.
Cards are playing
Yes.
great hockey.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
go see the fights.
And we're hoping
So-
that the MLS team's going to have a new soccer field in the football field to play.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Baseball.
Yep,
with
that's moving right.
Sticks of
And
hockey.
I think we're getting
Are we doing corkball?
a new
Sweet.
corkball would be awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
Corkball and
I think
handball?
St. Louis is on the short list, or has already been announced as a city that's going to get one of these new pro
The MLS
football
team?
teams. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. This MLS thing, it's looking really promising. I know that there's nothing set in stone so far.
That'd be awesome.
And nothing official, but it looks to be that we're pretty unofficially right there,
Yeah.
which I think is awesome. They just released the plans for the new stadium. That is totally cool looking.
yeah.
Square stadium.
Go figure.
I mean,
Square field, square stadium, square peg, square hole. Anyway, so let's talk about a
is
couple.
this guy today?
Dude, I don't know if it's sugar dependency or what the deal is. Lack of your beard oil throwing me off.
I didn't put any beard oil in today.
That's it.
Maybe that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
You were talking about something today that was kind of sad. Grandfather, grandson wanted to go shooting. Granddad said, yeah, we'll do it a little later.
Yep. This
Grandson went in and grabbed the gun. Grandpa came in and said, what are you doing with that? Give me that. Boom, gun goes off. Grandpa shot in the hand. Kid shot through Grandpa's hand. Not a good deal.
So nobody's saying what necessarily happened, but the grandfather was trying to take the gun away from the grandson, and the gun went off. So we don't really know
know
what
the whole
set the
story.
gun off,
Yep.
but
Well, the trigger got pulled. That's what set the gun off.
ultimately, we know how guns go bang, so
Yep.
we know that somebody had to do that, and Grandpa caught the bullet through the hand, and then it went into the kid's grandson in the leg. So we know that if it went through a hand, I don't know of a whole lot of guns that your hand can be over the muzzle and pulling the trigger at the same time. So we don't think ultimately either one
Could
of
have
those
been
is
any-
a
I mean, you
problem.
could have grabbed that and-
However, yes.
Anyway, so we thought something that we should at least touch on today for just a couple minutes is how to transfer a firearm person to person, right?
Well, I mean, in a general sense, because I don't know that this one was necessarily I was wrongfully.
Well, whether it was done on
but-
purpose or not, one of the places that you do see NDs is, I'm giving you a gun, because people will grab it, put their finger on the trigger. Just not a good idea. We recommend, first of all, if I'm going to give him a firearm, it's going to be clear mag out like that.
Right,
Okay,
and I can take
that's
that.
how he's going to get the firearm.
I'm going to
Now-
look in, and I'm going to look for a bullet. And that's the thing. I always look for a bullet in there, because
Yep.
there should be a bullet in there,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Because we never know, but there's always a bullet going to be in there. So I'm always looking for a bullet. There is no bullet there. It makes my brain say, well, wait, isn't there a bullet? There should be a bullet there.
'Cause you wanna shoot it.
It's a gun. I want to go play with it. It should have bullets in.
Yep. But you'll
So-
notice when we're handing the gun back and forth, we're still following the 4 rules, right? We're treating the firearm as if it's loaded, so we keep it pointed in a safe direction. Fingers staying off the trigger, away from the trigger, and before we pull that trigger, we would make sure that our background is safe at the target that we're
Right.
shooting at, right? Those are the
We know
things
what
that
we're
we
shooting
really
at,
pay
what's
attention to.
behind
Now, if, let's say that you and I are downstairs on the range, it's empty, right?
Yep.
Let's say that I've got this on the range and I'm shooting it. Gun's hot. Bang, bang, bang. I put 4 or 5 rounds out of it. It's got a 15 round mag. I want you to shoot it now. I would never hand somebody a loaded firearm, one in the chamber, unless something really bad is happening and I needed to. Set that gun down on the bench, muzzle down range, safety on. If there is an external safety on it, the next shooter can step in, pick it up, indexing it, and start using the firearm again. That's okay. But bottom line is, I should never be reaching for and taking a gun from him unless I know that gun is cleared.
Right. And this could also,
They could have been fighting over it. Kid
exactly.
could have
If
been
they're
being a
fighting
turd.
over it and so
That's
forth,
different. Yeah.
this tells me that there's probably some questions with the gun, because the grandson is asking to shoot the gun, so there's questions about the gun, and I personally think those are great, showing an interest in it, awesome. One of the things that I've always had with my kids, if they want to play with the guns, they don't go get them, so they don't need to even know where they're at or have access to them. So if they're locked into a safe or they're contained somewhere that the kids can't get to them, it's a much safer option. When they ask, can we shoot the gun? Yes, not now though, maybe in a little while. This can't happen if they can't get to the gun.
Great point.
Situation where your daughter calls
my
you
guns
and
are
says,
on me or
did
in
you
the
leave the
safe.
door wide open, or did the door, why is the door
Ooh.
open in the house? You freak out a little bit, you instruct them, go here, get this gun off of here. It is loaded. Leave it in the holster that you find it in until you need it, then strip it from the holster. That call happened 42 minutes ago. So yes, those kinds of things do happen, and I feel very safe with being able to walk her through that. My daughter's 14. She's been shooting since she's been exposed to guns since she was 2-ish, and can start really showing attention to it. I've been called in to check out the gun that her little friend wanted her to play with, and she was probably 4 or 5 at the time. It was a Nerf gun, but I've been called in there. I've
Check
had
this for clear, Dad.
She's calling me to say, hey, and can I? So yes, you can go here and do this, and then you can retrieve this, use this. I didn't have to go through all of the safety steps with her, because I do know that she has all those safety steps. So talk with your kids, make it something that it's not a scary thing, but it's a thing that they understand how it works. And that way, unfortunately, when you do get that call, if you get that call, the call is going to be coming from a positive direction. So not a negative one like this where we're going to rush people to the hospitals. So, not to end on
Be
a bad
safe.
note,
Treat the firearms right.
yeah, do some
good
smart
things.
stuff. Come buy some CZ stuffs.
We got some, and we got
Put an
another.
optic on this thing.
Okay,
it
go
does
out-
need an optic.
Go out there and do it.
The sights are nice on it. They're very easy to read. But come in, pick this up, and then put an optic on it, and come play.
Is anybody monitoring? Do we have any questions at all?
No questions. We had a couple of just generic comments,
Okay.
but no questions.
Well, be safe. Enjoy your weekend. Come see us. It's going to be.
We got some fun stuff coming
It's
up
all-
for May
it's always
too.
friggin' fun.
Ladies,
Oh, yeah.
you're gonna love it.
Moms, ladies, pay attention.
Really
Got some cool
giving
stuff
a
for
bunch
you.
of fun stuff for you guys.
Yeah. All right.
So
Be safe.
come play, guys.
Hold on, I want to do something real quick.
Uh-oh.
So I'm doing a charity ride for kids cancer research.
Are you going to hit us up
One of
on
our-
camera
nope,
in front of everybody?
Nope. One of our customers saw that I was doing that, brought me
Yeah.
in some cash today. If you need
Ah, cool.
a car, go see Andy.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Andy
for
Go
Miller.
check out Andy.
Thank
Andy
you very
Miller.
much, Andy.
Yeah.
It was
Our
very
Dean
cool
team.
of him to do that. So, don't care, new, used, whatever.
Yeah, they got all kinds of cool stuff there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they work on all kinds of cars. I was talking to them about my Mustang today, actually. So, yeah, awesome guy. If you guys want any other information about Phil and his shenanigans with riding bicycles for long distances, hit us up. We'll give you
Phil
all
at
the
the
information.
rangeSTL.com.
Yeah, he likes to ride for long distances. This one's a great one. He's raising some money for some kids stuff. I don't even know.
You know what I
the
think we
details
need to
on it
do?
yet,
I
but-
think right before the race starts, we need to steal the seat off his bicycle.
No, because we just get him to do silly stuff like put his tutu back on, and he can ride in his tutu and his silkies and
Tutu and Silkies with no seat.
We need
range silkies. I know.
Range silkies.
Yes,
Oh.
range silkies. Let us
think I
know if you
just
guys want range silkies.
threw
in
up in
green
my
or
mouth a
black. We
little
need to
bit.
know. Oh, and we have the mob shirts back. So the range.
Oh, yeah.
The
Members.
Range Two Eagles on a Musket shirts, they are back in stock. So members, remember, you get to come in, grab one for free. Second one's going to be half price.
Yep.
Everybody else, $24.99.
Yep.
We've
Cool
got
shirt.
a bunch of them, so they probably won't last too terribly long. But
We got him.
come in and grab them.
All right. I think that's it.
that
For,
note-
all right, do you have anything else, Phil?
Nope, we're
All
good.
right. Roll
All
cards.
right.
Go Blues.
You guys have fun.
You
Come
ready?
see us. Come shoot guns and stuff.
You ready?
Are you ready?
I'm ready.